What if I told you that some of the most brutal warriors in Warhammer 40k aren't just sci-fi creations, but echoes of ancient Sparta reborn in ceramite and gold? Not metaphorically, not loosely inspired, I mean culturally, tactically, even mythologically aligned. Warhammer 40k didn't just borrow from history, it lifted entire chapters from Greek legend. And nowhere is that clearer than in the Minotaurs. At first glance, the Minotaurs look like any other Space Marine chapter. Massive armor, cold discipline, overwhelming firepower. But look closer at the bronze and gold tones, the bull iconography, the ritualistic aggression, and you start to see something older beneath the surface. These aren't just soldiers of the Imperium, they feel like relics of a forgotten age of hoplites and heroes. In Greek mythology, the Minotaur was a monster trapped in a labyrinth, a symbol of rage, sacrifice, and power barely contained. The Minotaurs chapter embraces that symbolism unapologetically. They are unleashed when the Imperium wants not diplomacy, not negotiation, but annihilation. Like the beast in the maze, they are sent into political labyrinths to crush opposition without hesitation. Then there's their Spartan parallel. Ancient Spartan hoplites were not individuals seeking glory, they were a wall of shields, a single organism moving in formation. The Minotaurs operate the same way. Their combat doctrine emphasizes overwhelming, coordinated brutality. They don't duel for honor, they break enemies through synchronized violence, like a futuristic phalanx advancing under bolter fire. The aesthetic connection is impossible to ignore. Bronze armor reminiscent of ancient Greek panoply, helmet crests echoing Corinthian silhouettes. Even their preference for close-quarters domination mirrors the brutal intimacy of spear and shield warfare. Replace the dory with a power spear, the aspis with a storm shield, and you have Spartans reborn among the stars. But this isn't just visual inspiration, it's philosophical. Spartan society valued obedience, endurance, and total devotion to the state. The Minotaurs are infamous for their unwavering loyalty to the High Lords of Terra. They don't question orders, they don't hesitate, they execute imperial will with a cold efficiency that feels less heroism and more like institutionalized wrath. Unlike more noble chapters, the Minotaurs are feared even by their allies. In Greek legend, heroes like Achilles were glorious but terrifying, capable of immense loyalty and catastrophic rage. The Minotaurs embody that same duality. They are champions of the Imperium, but also its enforcers, its silent threat, the blade kept sharp for internal conflict. Their secrecy deepens the myth. Little is known about their origins, their gene seed, or their true masters. In mythology, monsters often guarded hidden truths within labyrinths. The Minotaurs function similarly in the political labyrinth of the Imperium. They appear suddenly, crush resistance, and vanish, leaving behind rumors, broken alliances, and unanswered questions. Even their battlefield behavior reflects ancient Greek strategy. Spartans believed in decisive, overwhelming confrontation, break the enemy line, shatter morale, end the war swiftly. The Minotaurs excel at shock assaults and uncompromising offensives. They don't wage wars of attrition unless necessary. They aim to dominate, to assert superiority in one crushing display of force. And then there's the name itself. Minotaurs, not lions, not eagles, a creature that represents strength fused with savagery. In myth, it took a hero like Theseus to slay the beast. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is no Theseus waiting in the shadows. The Minotaurs are not villains in someone else's story. They are the monster unleashed. This blend of myth and militarism is what makes Warhammer 40k so compelling. It reimagines ancient archetypes in a galaxy of endless war. The Spartans once stood at Thermopylae against impossible odds. The Minotaurs stand in void ships and war zones, facing Xenos, heretics, and even fellow space marines with the same cold resolve. If you compare them to other chapters, the contrast becomes sharper. Some fight for honor, others for redemption, others for spiritual destiny. The Minotaurs fight because they are commanded to. That chilling simplicity feels distinctly Spartan. Duty above all, emotion suppressed, victory demanded, mercy optional. And maybe that's the real mythology here. Not just bulls and bronze and battle formations, but the idea that civilizations romanticize disciplined violence. Sparta did it. The Imperium does it. The Minotaurs embody that uncomfortable truth that sometimes the most feared warriors aren't chaotic berserkers, but perfectly organized instruments of state power. So next time you see a Minotaur space marine standing in gleaming bronze, remember, you're not just looking at science fiction armor. You're looking at the ghost of ancient Greece marching through the 41st millennium. A phalanx in power armor, a labyrinth without walls, and a reminder that some myths never die. They just evolve.